welcome again to the Real Collective podcast. My name is Brendan McKeigan. With me, as always, is Sean Tasse with a fresh fade for all the people, all the beautiful people, and all the regular people like me. If you're having a good time with the podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. You can download us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And maybe I'm talking a little bit quick today, but that's kind of what the whole game plan is for the day. We're going to cover a couple things today. We're going to talk about how to buy fast in this market and how to sell fast. And you might think that that's just, well, that's pretty simple. It's not. So we're going to go over that today. Sean, how are you, my friend?
I am doing well, Brendan. I thoroughly enjoyed spending a little bit of time with you yesterday doing our newest listing video. So if you guys have not yet subscribed to the channel to keep up to date with all these listing videos before they hit the market, please do that. And you can check out the one that Brendan and I did for Calabogie. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to make the video, and I think the finished result's going to be great. And today, in comparison, is a sucky day because it is wet and rainy.
Yeah, we got lucky because originally I think we were supposed to do it today. That was their first attempt at it, was supposed to be today, but then the sellers asked if we could do it Wednesday. Thank God. So here we are, everybody, talking about the Real Collective podcast. Ooh, a Remax mug. I don't have mine close by, but anyway, I do have a team hat, so go team. Yeah. Go team. All right. So let's get into it. Let's talk about buying first. How do we buy quick in this market?
Yeah. Well, I think you often say this, Brendan, is, you've got a lot of setup to do before you buy quickly. But a lot of the times, people will be shopping for a home and they won't yet have a realtor or they won't yet have a pre-approval, and they go online, they see some pretty pictures and they say, okay, good. Yes, that's the house I want to buy. And often, not often, but certainly sometimes we'll get a call at the last minute saying, hey, I found a house. I want to buy it. Can you show it to me? And can you help me buy it? And it's like, sure. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that we should have done in preparation to get to that point. And the way that the consumer is operating these days, sometimes you don't get to do that. And some people think, oh, well, I just want to, I saw it, I like it, I want to buy it, and I want to do it quick. It's not like a pair of jeans, right? So having, you can't return them, right? If it doesn't fit, there's not a return policy. So having, some runway before and having a conversation with your agent before you find the house of your dreams will be really important to understand what you need to do to prepare so that when the perfect home does come along, you are ready to buy it quickly. And those, preparation conversations are the typical stuff, right? Like, hey, what kind of house are you looking for? Are you pre-approved? What are we going to be putting in your offer? Are we offering with conditions? Are we offering without conditions? All of these different things. But I think a lot of it has to do with the consumer mentality, especially now as we move more and more and more to buyers are finding their house online. Okay, great, I found it online and I just want to buy it and I want to buy it now. It doesn't always work that way, even though you might want it to. That's that. The answer to how to buy a house quickly is with a lot of really good setup, which therefore doesn't feel like you're buying it quickly.
Right. But I think it's more just, it's having the prep work done. Like you said, you get all the prep work done so that you're ready to go, so that when the right home does come up, that's when it's quick. The stuff before, maybe not as quick, but once that right home does come up and you see it, you know that you can kind of jump on it. And then obviously when you're trying to buy something a little bit quicker and maybe you're trying to avoid more of a back and forth, price might come into it. Obviously price is going to be a factor for anything. But to get that home quickly is just being prepared going into it. I mean, that's really the best thing for you in any scenario, but definitely when you're just trying to grab something.
Yeah, and you know what? We keep alluding to all of that stuff and the preparation before and all that sort of thing. I think it would be helpful to unpack some of that. So the typical first step is you meet with an agent, and sometimes you meet with more than one. You find someone who you can click with, right? And ideally, that agent is going to be giving you sort of the roadmap of what you need to do, so that by the time you do find the house, you're able to act on it quickly. And one of the biggest parts of that roadmap is getting linked up with a mortgage broker and getting yourself approved, because the stumbling blocks are the approval of the person. So the financial stumbling blocks are the approval of the person and then the approval of the property. Right. And if you're trying to do both the approval of the person and of the property within that 1 week conditional period for financing, it's really tight. Right? Sometimes the property will auto appraise, so that makes it really easy. But sometimes, I think I can buy this much, but you haven't given all of the documents that are required for your pre-approval. Once you've given all of those documents to that mortgage broker, you're going to be in a much stronger position. So those documents typically include things like how much money you make, and proof of how much money you make, what all of your expenses are and proof of what all of your expenses are, your credit report, all of that sort of financial stuff that for a lot of people, myself included, there's some what's the right word? Like some anxiety about sharing my financial stuff with other people, because
Sure.
I'm not always like, there's shame around it. There's shame around money for a lot of people, right? It's a weird thing. And so sharing it with someone else and feeling like, man, they're going to judge me because I spend too much money on cookies and coffee, right?
Starbucks and avocado toast.
Yeah. So doing that is kind of like peeling a Band-Aid, where once you do it and you realize, again, if you're connected with a great mortgage broker, it feels a lot less, you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then you do it. And then the mortgage broker's like, okay. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
right, well, then this was a thing that I was hung up with myself. And I think that's why a lot of people don't do it, because there's that emotional roadblock.
Yeah. And I think you just kind of need to put the trust that, like, it's kind of like when we go to someone's house and like, oh, it's not clean. It's not clean. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, who cares? I'm here to just see what the space is like to get an idea for it. We can worry about cleaning when it's time to list the home.
Yeah.
You got stuff everywhere? Whatever. I got a 3 and a 1-year-old. You don't think my living room is covered in toys on a most of the time basis? It is what it is, right? So, and I think more people get hung up about that kind of stuff, about the perceived perception, than the actual perception.
Yeah. Well, that's where that anxiety comes from, right? And so yeah, the money part is one part of it, and then knowing what you're going to be facing as you go through. If you're going to be buying conditional, knowing what you're going to be facing as you go through that conditional period, you're going to need the bank to get the appraisal done of the house potentially in that window, right? You're going to need to get a home inspector in. I don't know where a home inspector is. Okay, well, maybe you call and interview a few different home inspectors. You're going to need a lawyer. Maybe you call and interview a few different lawyers. Maybe you rely on whoever your agent is to provide you with all that information so that you don't have to. If you're going through and you're thinking about this, on our website is a list of all of the different partners that we use. Feel free to refer to that list. We don't get anything for it, but we know that all of our partners take really great care of our clients. So whether it's a mortgage broker, whether it's a home inspector, anything like that, lawyer, all that information is on there. When you're going through and buying, having your team set up and having all of these pieces in place before, and again, having a real estate agent who's explaining what the process is going to look like before you get there, is important. And really, the difference of, if you go and you see a house and you like it and you want to buy it, the difference of sleeping on it for a night versus not might mean the difference of actually buying the house versus not. One of the other agents on our team just bought a house this weekend, and it's getting so much action after he's got it conditionally sold, that there's still other people who are interested if they don't go through with their purchase, because he bought it so quickly, right? So that's important. You've done it too, right? When there's a massive price drop, you jump on the property right away as soon as you see that price drop, and now all of a sudden, you're buying quickly. And typically, when you're buying quickly, you're avoiding competition. And when you're avoiding competition, you're running the risk that you're buying the property for less than it should be, or less than you can prove the value to be, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's what it is. Like, time is crucial, right? And people still I think people still expect that their house is going to sell very quickly. So when you get those price drops, that's the best time. That's your Black Friday. That's the big sale on a home. So if you don't grab it, someone else is, and then you're in a fight in the middle of Walmart right after having a giant dinner. So
not pretty.
Not pretty. So that's timing is crucial. Prep is crucial, and then just having, that's part of it, and getting over any sort of mental roadblocks that you think someone might care about that they definitely don't, because they deal with it on a daily basis.
Yeah. And I really think, like, it could even be the difference between, I saw this house today and I'm leaving the house and I'm putting in an offer. One thing that we're able to offer, because we're a group or a collective, if you will, is if you like the house and it's an hour away from where you live or anything, we can reach out. We have a client service department that takes care of a lot of the administration work, and so we're able to put in an offer essentially the minute that you leave, so that you can put in the offer while standing in the driveway, while you're talking with your agent. You can have the offer being written for you on the side and really act on it quickly. And again, speed is important for good deals, because if you don't get it, it's going to be gone.
Right. Yeah. So act on that, act fast, and get all your ducks in a row. And then from there, know what you're looking for on top of that. Having it more narrowed down very specifically can help. Or and I don't mean it needs to have green paint. I mean, just how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what's a must have, what's a wood like. And we know that yes, your search is set up that way, but if you're trying to buy quick, knowing what you're looking for and then seeing it and being flexible, if it's not exactly maybe the basement's not finished, okay, but the price is there, so grab it. Grab it for the good price and hold on to it and let it appreciate. All right, I think that's a good place for a break. We will be right back. In the second half, we'll tell you how to sell fast. And then we will go to Belfast.
Terrible.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm tired. This is my third coffee of the day, and it's still not kicking in. Just trying to walk it off, one of those days. So we get a word from our sponsor. Again, subscribe, and share. If you do want to talk to Sean or I, book an appointment in the Calendly links below for each of us, or either one of us, maybe not both of us. And then we'll get you going on the right path. So until then, we will take a quick break and we'll be right back.
This episode of the Real Collective podcast is brought to you by Real Collective. Real Collective brings together best-in-class real estate agents and collective experts in the field to deliver the best possible service to our clients. We govern ourselves with honesty, open-mindedness, and compassion. With diverse skill sets, our agents are able to better serve a wide array of clients, including first-time buyers, first-time sellers, transferees, estate sales, investors, and rural, vacation, and luxury properties. Authenticity and transparency are pillars of our process, which allows us to put our clients at the center of everything we do. Our years of experience and knowledge allow us to deliver prestigious service and optimal results. If you are interested in buying or selling your home, contact us today at realcollective.ca.
Welcome back to the second half of the RCP. Still got the acronym, so that's exciting. Anyway, we're going to talk about how to sell fast in the second half. And before we do that, again, I got to tell you, subscribe, and share if you don't mind. That would be wonderful on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Now, let's say You just got a new job across the country. You got to get out of there quick. How do we sell fast?
Yeah. I mean, you've got a perfect scenario. We've got, well, not to give too much away. That is a great scenario to consider. And I think a lot of it has to do again with the preparation, right? You want to ensure that the product that you're putting on the market is prepared properly and positioned well. And so prepare is all of the staging. So one of the things that we offer, of course, is a staging consultation. The stager will go through your house and say, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. Take this piece of furniture and put it there. Take this piece of furniture and put it over there. And as you go through that process, your house becomes depersonalized. You remove a lot of the clutter, et cetera, et cetera. And after you've gone through that preparation phase, now it's on to presentation. And the presentation has to do with professional photos, not the photos that I take with my camera, not the photos that oh, whoops, I took the photo and my finger was over top of the lens, and we've seen them, and some of you, if you've been shopping for houses, right? Videos, drone videos, property tours of the inside of the house, and you want it to look as pristine as possible for the photos, and then also for when people arrive at your home. And then the third, and maybe the most important, is positioning. Okay, as more and more properties become available, positioning your home to be the best deal going is going to help you sell your home faster than the average days on market. Right now, the average days on market is hovering around 3 months. Okay, if you want to sell your house in less than 3 months, you have to position it properly. I use this analogy all the time when I'm speaking with sellers because it is basic psychology. So I'll run through it with you. Is if you are going to buy yourself a laptop and you say, you know what, I want a Dell laptop, you can walk into Staples and say, great, here's the Dell laptop that I want to buy from Staples. And you say, okay, that's great. I like it. It's got all the stuff that I need. The price is whatever it is. I don't know, $1,500. And then you walk across the street because you're in one of those smart centers, and Walmart's got the same. Does Walmart sell laptops? I don't know.
Sure.
So. Yeah, Walmart's got the same laptop for sale, right? It's that same Dell laptop version, whatever. But this weekend and this weekend only, they have a built-in, I don't know, different upgrades, right? Like, let's say they've got a webcam built into it, and that's free if you buy it from them this weekend. And they also include all of the Microsoft programs if you buy it from them this weekend. And they also are offering you some sort of warranty package, let's say, for example, for the next 3 years, if you buy that laptop from them this weekend. Well, if you're buying a laptop, which one do you choose? You choose.
You're waiting for my answer?
Yeah, I was, but it's okay.
It's like a Dora the Explorer moment where Dora's like, can you say this? Good job.
Yeah, that's what it was. The obvious.
It's an obvious answer.
Just like Dora the Explorer. And so, or what's the other one? Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yep.
Yep, that's the same thing. Anyways, so you choose the one with all the extra bells and whistles for the same price, right? Or you go back to the first people and you're like, hey, here's what they're offering over there. Can you match it, or can you lower your price, right? That's what people do when they shop. And it's no different when people are shopping for a home. So you need to position your home so that it's the best deal going. If you've got the extra bells and whistles, you have to be the same price as the other home. Otherwise, you don't sell, right? You'll sit on the market, okay? And, oh, well, I've got these extra things, so my house should be worth more. It's not. Not in a balanced market. In a balanced market, the way to sell quickly is all about positioning. Now, if you don't have any of those extra bells and whistles, you have to be lower on your price, or you have to add those bells and whistles back into your home. Whatever it might be, you need to position accordingly. And really, it all comes down to the price of your home. What am I getting and what am I spending to get that? Some things are intangible, but some things are really, we've got a lot of history that we're able to understand and add value. So if you're on a busier street, that has a negative impact on your value. If you have a finished basement, that has a positive impact on your value. If you have a 2-car garage versus a 1-car garage, that has a positive impact on your value. And we understand what all of the numbers are, so we can math up or down to say, okay, well, here's what fair market value for your home is. Here's what you're competing against. And if you're going to beat out these other people these other 12 people who are all in the market at the same time, you have to position yourself. If you've got more bells and whistles, you have to position yourself at the same price. If you have less bells and whistles, you have to position yourself lower. That's how you sell fast.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple. It's really just setting your price in the right spot to make your home stand out and have people say, oh my God, check out what's on sale.
Yeah. And you're right. It seems really simple, but it's the same issue. Is there's that emotional component that gets wrapped up in it, right?
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to feel like I'm giving my house away. How many times have I heard people say, oh, well, you just want to price it low so that you can get it sold and be done with me as a client. But what we do know is, the longer your house sits on the market, the more the perceived value goes down. And so the only solution is to take a lower offer or to reduce your price. So getting the price right out of the gate is so important to getting a quick sale. And over the last 2-3 years, the agents who have been, coming on and been, no offense, Brendan, TikTok realtors, haven't had to deal, you have a TikTok account. You are a funny TikToker.
Oh, I think I've done like 5 TikTok posts ever.
Yeah. So I would not consider you to be a TikTok realtor, but a lot of people, a lot of newer agents don't have the experience to sort of guide their clients through this changing market and how to position properly so that your house sells. And stuff is going to sit on the market if it's not positioned properly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's how it goes. So
and to the client's detriment.
Yeah.
Right. As much as you think, oh, well, I'm gonna keep my price higher. And if I keep it higher, then I'm going to sell for more. Well, you won't, because if you need to sell, you don't really get a choice about the price. The price is what the price is, and the market's going to dictate it. And if you position too high, the crazy thing is, if you start too high, you end up selling for less. If you start for the fair market value, you typically sell in fair market time. If you start just a little bit below, or you're the sort of the best deal going, you actually end up selling for more and in a shorter period of time, which is completely counterintuitive, but that's just the way that it works, because you're playing into the buyer's psychology, right?
Yeah.
You're offering a deal.
Yeah. And it's really amazing that, like, we wouldn't have been doing this podcast a month ago, if we, even 2 months ago, how do you sell your home fast? List it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But like, the market is so volatile and unfair. And I tell people all the time, like, what do you mean my house is priced very fairly? I don't understand. I was like, well, the market's not fair. So it happens on both sides of things, for buyers and sellers. So it's an unfortunate reality, but that's where it is. And especially right now, we took a sharp turn, and it just everything's kind of sitting there longer now. And I think having that in your head of looking at not only, hey, here's the homes and what they've been selling for, but having that conversation with your realtor about, okay, so how long have these homes been taking to sell, is going to give you an idea. So if you want your home sold quicker, then you got to lower that price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what's going to do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what, though? Sometimes you can't sell it quicker because the right buyer for your house isn't there. right? Or the right buyer is there for your house, but there's only so much that they're willing to pay. And as the interest rates continue to go up, it continues to put negative pressure on house values, meaning that buyers don't have the ability to afford as much. And so if the market continues to swing downwards, the key is pricing ahead of the market. And so it means you're going to have to list for less than you can prove your house to be worth. And it's tough, you know. But if you have to sell, you have to sell. And there's no two ways about it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the best way to go about it. And I think that's a good place to wrap it up. If you do want to get a little bit more in depth about how to do either one of those in this market, specifically for your home, and you want to set up a plan, book an appointment with us in the Calendly links below. Happy to talk to you guys. Just because you book an appointment doesn't mean we're going to make you sign some documents. Let's talk about some things and see if we're all a good fit for each other. Yes. Got you.
And your firstborn too.
Yes. Yes. So there it is, everybody. And again, do us a favor, if you don't mind, please like, subscribe, and share both this video and any other video that you see on the channel that you enjoy for the Real Collective. Not to mention Apple Podcasts and Spotify; those are helpful too. Maybe YouTube, just to have on in the background. Put it in another tab. Go about your work, and hopefully you learn something, or you feel like we need to learn something. I don't know. What do we need to learn about you and your home? Beautiful wrap-up job. I am Brendan McKeigan. This is Sean Tasse, and until the next one, keep it real.
Collective.